What's up, all you animation lovers, and welcome to another episode of Talking 2D. My name is Duuz-Diz-Din, and I am once again here with my illustrious co-host,
the man with the iron giblets.
And today we will be talking about more animation and animation-based series. First up is One Piece, Chapter 1021.
I'm going to just say it right off the bat. This is exactly what I have fucking needed to see from Robin. It really is. I've been thinking about this for like the past 2 days. No, 3, because I read that comic pretty early on Friday morning. So, I had about like 2.5 days to mull this over. This is exactly what I needed to fucking see from Robin. I'm just going to say it outright. She has been shown in the past to be very, very good at crowd control and taking down throwaway characters whose names you don't really need to remember. I am talking about that one priest from Skypiea who wasn't even part of Eneru's like 4 big...
His inner circle.
That's the one. He was just outside that. And, Robin humiliated the fuck out of him, and he deserved it because he was a worthless throwaway character. But, and this is the important thing, that was Robin's last fight in the series for a really long time. When we got to Enies Lobby, she gave herself up. Now, it's not within good reason. We understand why she does this, but she still gave herself up. Her biggest moment is, at the end when she's finally free and she finally has a chance to get revenge on Spondum and breaks his fucking spine, which he still somehow miraculously survives.
A lot of people survived that. I mean, shit, Pell got right back up after Robin had basically broken him to shit.
I mean, true, but damn, when you see that x-ray, like, oof, she fucked that man up, like, killed him, fucked him up, I thought. The way the anime presents it makes it look like she killed him. But, anyway, you don't get to see much with Robin against a named opponent who is supposed to be a big deal. You just don't get to see enough of it for a good amount of the series. So to see her, get that win against Black Maria, oof. First off, the fight last chapter was a thing of beauty. The continuation and the conclusion this chapter was just a fucking work of art. Absolute, just beautiful. Well done. Robin has jumped up in terms of power, in my opinion. Because the thing is, I knew she had incredible power, but I always felt like she was underutilizing it. Now, I can kind of shut my mouth about that one, because it's just like, oh, finally! Finally! The thing is, this is what I wanted, so I'm happy to have to shut my mouth on it.
Well, I'm glad you finally got what you wanted. So
what do you think?
What did you think about that little move that she pulled out towards the end there? Pretty intense stuff.
That hold she had Black Maria in was... I mean, goddamn, that shit was something else. And the fact that she decided, let me just break each of your little spider legs individually first before I just fuck you up, okay? Just fuck you up.
I gotta say, Black Maria's abilities were starting to get a little out of control there. Between her ability to generate spider webs from where the fuck ever, I guess her fingertips and all that good stuff, the fact that the legs of her spider form, they were all poisonous, and the fact that the spider mouth itself could spit hot fire. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
Some kind of mythical spider?
I mean, I get the idea. It's supposed to be representative of something called a Jorogumo, which is, exactly how Black Maria looks like, usually portrayed as a woman who has the lower half that is, like, just a spider dude. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't remember them being able to do all that crap.
Well, that's the great thing about mythological lore. Everybody has a different interpretation. And, when you decide to make your character something like that, you decide, let's look into all the lore. Wow, they can do that? They can do that? They can do that? None of these are consistent. I'm going to make them all consistent because they make for incredible, broken fucking abilities. And that's what you have to have on a mythical Zoan.
Well, I mean, maybe
You
if she
kind of
were a
have to.
mythical Zoan. She's an ancient
No, yeah,
Zoan,
she
though.
is, right?
She's an
No,
ancient
ancient,
Zoan.
ancient. Sorry. Ancient and or mythical. Ancient and or mythical. That's my bad. Yeah, because, like, okay, so we saw an excellent use of Sasaki's powers. Actually, no, the one thing that really stood out was the Triceracopter.
It's one of those things that keep popping up where it's just like, yeah, up to a certain point, you're just like, okay, that's exactly how that works. And then something comes along and it's just like, oh, that is not how that's supposed to work. What the fuck is that shit?
I mean, like, props. You made something work that definitely should not have. Kudos. Also, what the fuck? But, at the same time, I want to consider, like, the rest of his use of his power, and it was pretty standard. Like, he was a Triceratops. So, obviously, he doesn't really have to do much with a normal opponent. But then you remember, General Frankie is a very fucking large mech. I was hoping to see more out of Sasaki. I'm a little disappointed,
Well,
ultimately.
see, the fact that Robin had 2 chapters to take down Black Maria really does show that it's just like, that's what you need. Give us enough time, have the character at least pull out some new technique or a little bit extra, go a little bit further, have to plan at least a little bit more. But you really didn't kind of get that. I mean, with Frankie, at least he had to think quick and bail the fuck out before, the General Frankie got turned into scrap metal. But, at the same time, it's also like, that was it. 1 chapter and Sasaki's down. 1 chapter and Who's down. It's just like, I don't know. 2 chapters seems to be the golden number because at least that way you have enough dedication to the fight to make it seem like, yes, this was hard fought, you were on the ropes long enough, you had to figure something out, you managed to get the critical blow in, you finished your opponent off. That's what Robin brought to the table, and not so much with the other 2 fights we've gone over.
It sort of seems like, even though Sasaki sort of... Damn it, I keep mixing them up. Who's Who, when it seemed as though Who's Who sorta had the upper hand in his match with Jinbei turned that shit right around and threw all that force and momentum back at him, and that kitty went to sleep. Again, Sasaki just didn't really do much outside of like your typical standard with my horns and maybe a little with my tail, but we didn't really see him do much different with his hybrid form other than the motherfucking Triceracopter, because it's the literal most out there ridiculous crazy shit we've ever seen.
I mean, it was that and his weird spiral sword or whatever, and even that is just kind of like, broke the Frankie Shogun sword. He attacked some of his subordinates who had turned against him, and that was really about it. It's just like, he busted out like all of 2 moves for the most part, and nothing else. At least with Who's Who, it felt like Who's Who was like really putting in the work for the most part, but Jinbei was just like too fucking tough, and it kind of felt like Jinbei's whole idea seemed to be like, well, this doesn't seem to be working. Let me hit him harder.
And lo and behold, hit him harder was the trick. But yeah. So fucking, I love that Robin tried going for a more holy looking kind of approach at first with her giant woman form. Who I do love that the I want to say that's hands covering them that like merged onto her boobs, because that's gotta be what that is.
I told you last time, man. I told you last time. She ain't gonna be having no titties out.
Listen, I knew, but a man can dream, damn it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so wow, that form actually opens up a giant vulnerability that I was kind of always worried about. Like, man, if she made a giant form of herself, how susceptible would she be to damage? Black Maria kind of made that real clear. It's like, ooh, you just made it much easier for her to hurt you, Robin. What have you done?
See, that was always kind of the my reasoning behind why Robin doesn't always get into as many battles as she could. Like, yeah, a lot of her forms are pretty capable, but at the same time, it's still her flesh. And we had actually seen that before, that if you hurt one of her hands or whatever, that damage comes back onto her. And, having a million targets that all reflect the damage back onto your one hand seems like a major vulnerability. Doesn't mean she shouldn't try. Just has always been one of those things where if you do this and you get caught by an opponent with actual weaponry, or in this case, multiple forms of ways to hurt you, you ain't coming out of this okay. And I'm glad they kept that weakness in here. It's just like showed that if she wanted to really go toe to toe with someone like this, she was going to have to bleed for it. And bleed a lot she did.
Hey, it did the trick, cause fucking goddamn Demonia flew. Like, well, shit. And the thing is, like, it looks like it's got Conqueror's hockey. I know it's probably like the shadow, and listen, I know it's probably a shadow. I know it looks like an effect, but it does look like it. And I want to know, do you think that it looks like it too?
Everybody's been questioning that. Everybody's been saying that has to be what it is. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I am going with it's just the shadowing. That's all it is. Because it's just one of those things where if she had it to any degree, I can't imagine her only just pulling that out now. That seems, I don't know, that would seem a little off to me.
I get where you're coming from. And the thing is, like, I don't think it is. I think it would be cool if it was, but it does just kind of look like that. So it has you wondering, like, does she like pick up on this when no one was watching? Like, she was just kind of low-key looking in like, how do they do that?
It's one of those things that people have been hoping for the longest time. And it would be great. Hell, it would be great if she actually picked up on martial arts like the way that both Koala and Sabo were trying to teach her. It would come in incredibly handy with what her abilities entail. It's just that it never seemed to really be her thing, and as cool as it would be, because it would be amazing with her abilities. I mean, hell, just think of like the Shigan, the finger pistol technique used with her devil fruit abilities. She'd be the most deadly thing on two legs. But it's at that point she starts to become very broken.
Yeah, I guess like maybe she still needs to build up to that point. I mean, I realistically think she would just be broken enough. Like she'd be just powerful enough and still have a weakness if she just had not Conquerors. My God, sorry, armament hockey. Because think about this. You can coat your whole ass arm with it. Robin's whole deal is sprouting whole ass arms everywhere. So you sprout arms, you coat them bitches. She's fucking done. That's all you need. Like, I don't know if she'll do it. I would love to see her do it. I do think she'd be pretty broken if she did it. But everybody else in the One Piece world is kind of broken, so we need to break her just a little bit so that she's got more of a chance. I mean, that's why Nami got Zeus.
People have been begging for her to do something like that, but it just... She seemed to be so dismissive when it came to, Sabo and Koala trying to get her to learn these techniques and all that I'm just not sure, man. She treated it more as quaint than anything else. She learned the one hand palm thrust technique from Koala, and that was about it. And I think might be it for her.
Possibly, but consider there's someone else on the crew who knows Fishman karate, And Robin might consider the fact that, like, maybe I can touch up my martial arts a bit. Hey, Jinbei, can you help me out? Like, I don't know. That'd be a cool idea. That'd be a cool idea, in my opinion. But, whatever transpires. I just liked what I saw in this chapter, and I want more of it, and I'm trying to think of ways to make it happen. Again, like I said, it probably is just a shadow. It puts the idea in our heads, and I feel like that's intentional, because Oda. He likes to tease us. He will tease us any chance he can get. And this feels like that kind of opportunity,
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just the way I've seen Oda do artwork, and especially when it comes to the way he depicts hockey, that just didn't feel like it. But that's been the fabulous thing about the anime. Once the anime comes around, we will know definitively, because that's all the anime has been doing, making things pretty definitive in a lot of ways. So we'll probably have an answer by then.
Like how last week they made it definitively clear Luffy fucking killed those men. I will not let that go. I will not let that shit go. Momonosuke's gonna age himself up.
Oh yeah. Possibly. Yeah.
No.
If Shinobu's
he has
ability
decided
can actually work that way.
She said she could.
Let's see how well that works out, though. I feel like that could be played for a gag way too easily.
See, narratively it would make sense, but no. Sorry. It would make sense for a gag, but this is one of those narrative situations where this fruit's ability is at its most useful. Because it does just age things. So, he's getting a controlled age up, which I'm sure Shinobu knows how to do at this point. I mean, you can't just expect her to have this for the majority of her life and not know how it works.
See, the only reasoning why I'm kind of skeptical about this is because this swiftly starts to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Infringe on the territory of Jewelry Bonnie's ability. Like, I know Bonnie is able to shift you back and forth between the two things, so I guess it's a little bit more of an elegant version of this, but I don't know, it feels like you're starting to cut into another Devil Fruit ability, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, one could argue that this is kind of like a lesser version of Bonnie's Fruit.
Definitely. I don't know. I don't. It all depends. It depends on how it goes down, how I feel about it.
I get you. But yeah, that was really all there was to say on the rest of the chapter. It was Robin's fight, which was something I felt like we needed more of. Brooke had a nice moment. He did the support role, but it was much needed. He decided, no, this is not my moment. This is hers. So you get the big boss. I'll take care of the small fries here. Wow, we really skipped a lot from the manga. Whatever.
I mean, there wasn't much to talk about in terms of... it really was mostly just the situation with Brooke and Robin that was the main focal point. But, we did have, ultimately, Caribou came through with his swamp of meat.
His swamp of meat, that's right. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So gross when you say it like that, but...
Everybody's been saying that. It's like, Caribou got that swamp meat. Luffy's gonna eat Caribou's swamp meat.
God damn it. I regret everything. But apparently he's supposed to get that food to the people in Leftovers Town, so I think that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that actually would be a good way to go. It involves Caribou having no choice but to give of himself, which he's probably going to be pissed as shit about.
Yeah, it'll probably lead to some kind of reward, and he's just like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like what I did to get this.
It makes me feel dirty, said the Swamp Man.
Said the Swamp Man! Oh, fuck.